I'm also one of these people, I love the ACC Coastal. I mean, I know we're going to soon get rid of it and not be able to call it that, but like,
R.I.P.
I love the depth in the ACC. I think that it often gets overshadowed or like talked down upon. I thought that like the 2021 season and not having Clemson in the championship game was actually two incredible stories. I think that what Pitt has done, what Wake has done, I'm really excited to see North Carolina State this year. Very high on Devin Leary, just profiled him. There's so many great stories, and there was also so many great quarterbacks in this league, and everyone just says, well, if Clemson's bad, everyone else must be bad.
Right, exactly.
And I don't like that. And, like I also go to bat for Rutgers. I grew up 20 minutes from there. And when they have these moments of like breaking through or something, I cover them and people are like, oh, it's, you're just making fun of Rutgers. And I'm like, no, these programs matter to people. And people are allowed to have their highlights and they're allowed to have these moments, even if they're not competing for national championships.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of that gets lost in this era of college football playoff or bust. And I think that it's not great for the other teams in the ACC to just get painted with such a broad brush, because you can have great seasons. You can accomplish a lot of other things without making the playoff, or, if let's say Clemson does, and you still do other things. It just, I kind of hate that about where college football is right now, because, what Pitt did was incredible, and it broke, there was history made, and Kenny Pickett, is all over the history books. He never transferred. Like, there was just so many lessons and things and interesting stories from that team, or from how Wake did this to get to an ACC championship game, Wake Forest. And there were all these people just being like, oh, no one's going to watch that game. I'm like, I am. I'm very excited for it. I think there's compelling reasons to watch this and be excited about it. But I think nationally, it's certainly not the Pac-12. The Pac-12 has got their own issue of just like the public perception of them. And I think, Clemson has obviously carried a lot of weight for the ACC in non-conference games, right? Early season games, but also those postseason games to set different narratives. I do think, in an eventual expanded playoff world, there needs to be more depth. You need to get multiple teams in. It can't be Clemson in a massive drop-off, or, whatever it is. But I just think it's so lazy to talk about the ACC as like Clemson and everybody else.